There. Hello, everyone. I would like to talk about the film Teach Us All. The film addresses racial segregation in the United States public education system. This issue is significant because it affects the value of the education the minorities in the public education system are receiving. The issue is so severe that it is causing significantly more students to drop out among minority groups than among white students. The school population most affected are males who are black or Hispanic. Therefore, there are more groups than just one minority group that are affected. The epidemic is also causing discrepancies in the quality of public education minority students are receiving. For some racist reason, other students end up moving away from where the minorities are going to school. One reason for this is because whites tend to have more opportunities given to them than minorities do. Alas, it is usually some of the teachers who do not show as much respect and patience with the minority students simply because they're having trouble in school. The students are struggling due to their hardship with focus or lack of necessary knowledge. One myth that the documentary addresses is that parents and students do not care about education. This is false. The school administrators and teachers in the documentary, however, both mention that students and parents both care. It is the schools and the teachers specifically who are pushing the students out of the schools. The documentary mentions that one of the reasons the students act like they are incompetent is actually related to their home life. A lot of poor students, and minority students in particular, struggle in their home life because of a lack of food or shelter. Sometimes it's even both. Another thing which causes the students to struggle to learn is they often endure hearing their parents fight before going to bed or heading to school. Like, this is an ongoing issue, like constant. It's not just once in a blue moon. In addition, students might be harassed on their way to school because they're a minority or simply because they have no choice but to wear a gang color related shirt because it's all they have. All they could afford, get from the thrift store or was given to them. Um, One thing new the documentary taught me was about how segregation has actually gotten worse since the 1950s versus now. The documentary showed a graph telling how exam scores between minority groups, different racial groups, have deteriorated since desegregating schools rather than improving the scores. The documentary also mentioned something I didn't know, which was that some schools are getting worse in segregation. In fact, they're almost 100% one group or another, or two racial minority groups with no majority at all. Um, I have not found many sources on the topic of segregation. However, I know that most people assume that desegregation efforts in the 1950s and 1960s helped improve rather than worsen segregation. Boy, stats are telling a different story.